They're big and they're British. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 British brands that took over the world.
Get it inside you, boy, and you'll be going up that hill as fast as you come down.
Though this still has many times more wheat germ than ordinary bread.
Before we begin, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at those instantly recognisable British or part British brands that have managed to break the UK barrier and gain success worldwide. To qualify, they will also need to have had a significant influence on the history and culture of their respective industries.
There's no roaming charges.
No roaming charges. Hey, this is magical, by the way.
Number 10, Dr. Martens. These are more than just a footwear brand.
I think the punks picked up on the rebellious aspect and attitude of the boot, if you will, to kind of say, actually, we're rebelling against everything.
Since they hit the mainstream, they've been a symbol for nonconformists worldwide, a bit like the leather jacket for our feet. But they've not just been favoured by punk rockers, scooter riders and rebellious teenagers. They've also become the go-to, reliable footwear for postmen and factory workers thanks to their durability. Launching an accompanying clothing range in 2011, it was ranked in 2012 as the 8th fastest growing British company.
They've become such classics. You know, the vampires are wearing them in Twilight, Rihanna's been wearing them, all the it girls in London. Like, it's almost like they've been, you know, they've really exploded in London. We're just catching up here.
Number 9, ASOS. If you're a 20-something who's into their fashion, then you'll no doubt be acquainted with the online store ASOS. A hub for over 850 different brands. If you can't quite find that jacket, bracelet or pair of shoes you've been looking for on the high street, ASOS is your go-to. It's been around since the early noughties, but it wasn't until the brand went international in 2010 that it really took off, with US, Italian and Spanish websites, and offices in Australia and New York.
The difference is that I don't want to show it. At first, see, you won't even notice until you get me vexed, triple X explosive.
Number 8, Glenfiddich.
In telling the story of the family who changed the world of whiskey forever.
Yes, the more commercially verbose American brands like Jack Daniels and Jim Beam may be more recognisable, but for many, Glenfiddich is the godfather of whiskey.
Cheers.
Slange.
The famous Scotch, which hails from Dufftown in Scotland, is the world's best-selling single malt whiskey and is sold in 180 countries. With a long list of accolades, including a successful stint at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, its 15-year aged moonshine has become an affordable yet highly refined favourite. Great Scott.
Glenfiddich, family run since 1887.
Number 7, Burberry.
What have you got there, Burberry? I made it.
Britain is bursting with iconic fashion brands, including the likes of Paul Smith and Ted Baker, but our vote goes to Burberry, a name established back in 1856. Originally focused on outdoor clothing with its trench coats worn by soldiers in the First World War, it eventually moved upmarket, and its distinctive, highly copied checked pattern moved with it. With stores across the globe from Europe to America and Asia to Africa, it really is one of the fashion heavyweights. Number 6, RollsRoyce.
When it doesn't exist, design it.
Cars are another British specialism, from mud-plugging Land Rovers to gadget-heavy Aston Martins, but as far as universally acknowledged automotive luxury goes, Rolls-Royce is the one to beat.
There's something about Rolls-Royce and the experience of driving them which I just love.
Known for its ridiculously bespoke handmade models, Rollers have long been the high-class car of choice amongst footballers and business moguls alike. And it's not just Brits with money who buy them. In fact, the US is Rolls-Royce's biggest market, followed by China. Number 5, Royal Dutch Shell. A dual-listed oil and gas company, it was established in 1907 when the Shell Transport and Trading Company joined forces with the Royal Dutch Petroleum Company. Since then, it's gone on to become one of the top 10 largest corporations in the world, with multiple subsidiaries, including the US, which is its largest. Hailed as one of the big oil supermajors, Shell has been fueling houses and cars for a century and has one of the most recognisable logos ever.
We've developed new Shell V-Power. Wherever your journey takes you, go with Britain's #1 performance fuel.
Number 4, Durex.
Tell me how you use it.
I'm constantly using it, definitely, yes.
Although there are many popular condom brands, Durex is easily the most famous. Originally manufactured by SSL International, which is now owned by the health, hygiene and home products company Reckitt Benckiser, Durex's history dates back more than a century, and it made massive product advances in the 90s. In a similar way to Hoover, Chapstick or Sellotape and their respective markets, Durex is so popular it's commonly used as an interchangeable name for a condom.
Sexy.
Number 3. BBC.
3 million more people now in work with the security that a job gives for them and their families.
A leading provider of news coverage, documentaries, films, charity events and radio stations, it's easy to forget that the British Broadcasting Corporation is in fact a brand itself. Becoming a highly respected name and, as a result, a stamp of almost unparalleled approval in the British media, the BBC is the world's largest national broadcasting organisation.
You use?
Yes.
Do you? For how long?
And I've used since I was 12.
And thanks to its BBC Worldwide subsidiary, it has offshoots all over the world, including BBC America, BBC Canada, and the 24-hour international news channel BBC World News.
I know who I wouldn't invite. Who? Stephen Fry or Jesus?
Number 2. Virgin.
Fortunately, with TiVo from Virgin Media, you can record any 3 programmes at once while watching a 4th you recorded earlier.
From record shops to space travel, Sir Richard Branson's Virgin Group has its fingers in many different pies. As a company always looking to explore new ventures, the Virgin brand has grown exponentially since the 70s and is prominent in many facets of media, be it music or home entertainment. Not only is Virgin a brand that pops up all over the globe, but its plane, train, cruise liner and galactic services will help you travel our world and hopefully others. Number 1. Cadbury.
Whatever the bar, obey your mouth.
We all know Cadbury is big, but you may not realise just how big it is. Founded in Birmingham almost 2 centuries ago, its reach stretches to the US, Canada, Australia and India.
That's why, sir, nothing tastes nicer than Cadbury's Dairy Milk. Cadbury's Dairy Milk!
In fact, it's the second largest confectionery brand in the world, second only to Wrigley's chewing gum. Of course, it's most famous for its chocolates, with the likes of the Dairy Milk Bar, Flake and Curly Whirly, but thanks to its acquisition of other brands like Maynard's in the 90s, it also produces an array of other sweets, like Jelly Babies. Now, that is some tasty trivia.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK and subscribe for more great content.